Boy, you talk about a power trip. You talk about somebody that let a little bit of responsibility get way out of control and go to his head. What does that say? Get one of these fans on file? Officer Dan Murphy, from what I understand, used to be a small-time rent-a-cop. He was a mall guard. Did a couple of small-time odd jobs, security gigs, some under-the-table dealings. But Officer Dan decided to undergo the belief he was above the law. He was responsible for enforcing the law no matter where he went. He had his air security, looks down at everybody else. The kind of guy that'll try to haul you into the station for jaywalking. That's Officer Dan Murphy in a nutshell. Officer Dan would probably help a lot of politicians unjustly fill up some prisons and take a hefty bribe on the side for it. But he'll have a real struggle. He may have to call for backup with this man. That's the lovely Anya leading in her representative, Shane InYaFace, undefeated mixed martial arts star who left it behind to follow his dream of becoming a professional wrestler. And man, we have seen Shane InYaFace a couple of times come very, very close to realizing a pivotal part of that dream, as he's come very close to winning the IWC Super Indy Championship from one Chris LaRusso. A near fractured hand was maybe all that stood in the way of Shane InYaFace and Ultimate Glory back at Proving Ground, but a different test here tonight as Anya showing no fear. Officer Dan probably about 6'6" or 7. And Officer Dan no longer filing the paperwork. Now he's going to get out on the field and do the tough stuff. So we hope. Officer Dan doesn't like being frisked. How's it feel? Frisking the official? I'd be surprised to see Officer Dan try to sneak in a can of mace, maybe, or a billy club. Shane InYaFace, he's clean. He doesn't need any weapons. His hands are his weapons. Jaw jacket for both men. Officer Dan only had a couple of matches here in IWC. Shane InYaFace really come into his own. I believe this is Proving Ground class of 16 versus Proving Ground class of 17, if I'm not mistaken. Much like our opening contest. And both men collar and elbow, and Shane InYaFace taking care of Officer Dan, and InYaFace is just that, living up to his namesake, not letting the size discrepancy, and certainly not letting the daunting attitude or just that condescending demeanor of Dan Murphy interfere as Dan goes down to the knee, I believe. Clubbing blow.
Stay down.
Officer Dan is at his best. He can just overpower you. Just smother you. Double handful of beard, and Shane InYaFace now going to his instincts, those body shots. Able to create some distance. Will opportunity follow? It does. And Dan is now worse for wear. He's reeling. Those body strikes with the knee now. Shane InYaFace can hit those striking combos so well. Once you can get rattle one or two off, you may be in for a long day at the office. As Shane measures Dan Murphy, who's crying foul. There's no whistle in wrestling, and Dan to the outside. Officer Murphy, you're out of your jurisdiction, sir. And Shane grabbing onto whatever he can, but Murphy, the opportunist, found an opening, now working in on the knee of InYaFace and off.
Who's the law
That right knee drilled across the ring frame.
Excuse me? Huh? Let me get you after the show.
Dan threatening to arrest fans after the show. Oh, again, focusing on that knee of InYaFace, and that's going to interfere with Shane's ability, his kicking game. If he doesn't have the proper balance, his fists will not have the same velocity, the same impact behind them. Smart maneuver by Murphy, who was just relentless. Thought for a second Shane might be ready to make a citizen's arrest, so to speak. Nothing to do it. Mocking Shane, who is trying to strike away from his knees. There's that relentless offense once again as Shane is on his back, but he's still getting whistled. This is great, great focus and determination by Murphy. As Shane, you can see, has very limited mobility. Using Anya with decent exposure. Quite a rap sheet we're building up for Shane InYaFace and friend. And Shane trying to fight back. That's that competitive spirit that's never going to go away. Shane cannot put weight on that knee. And that is going to severely hinder his opportunities to work his way out of the grasp of Murphy, who hit a stomach breaker before the overhead gut-wrench suplex. Shane in a bad way as of now. The elbow down to the knee, and you can see again, Murphy is just zeroing in. Shane elevated. Shane able to slip free. Still can't put any weight on that knee, but daring Officer Murphy to come through. And a right hook for Officer Dan's troubles. Oh, Shane taking a high risk. This may not be wise. Oh, it wasn't. Shane slipped off that top rope, and it was absolutely because of the damage done to the knee. And Murphy right back relentless. Shane left himself exposed, left himself vulnerable. And again, those are not the instincts of Shane from the MMA world to climb to the top rope. Shane tried to take a chance to neutralize the size advantage of Murphy. It did not pay off, and Shane is back in dire straits. Shane just trying to kick, do whatever he can to get free. Follow-away slam connects. Oh, nobody there in the corner. Look at this. German suplex. Oh, my gosh. Dan landed high. Could this be all to it? Oh, it is that time. No question about it. Officer Murphy still knocked loopy from that German suplex. Shane InYaFace gets a victory. Still having major problems with that knee. Anya helping him to his feet, helping him to the corner. But citizens arrest here tonight. Officer Murphy back to the precinct with a loss. Shane InYaFace back to climbing up those Super Indy Championship rankings.